So I think first and foremost, and it sounds easy and it sounds simple. And I honestly, sometimes when I say this, I wonder why aren't we doing this already? But part of it is just doing an audit. Understand what is the data you need in your day-to-day activities? What is the data you need for different parts of your supply chain? And then prioritize. Some data, you know what? It's mission critical. I need to have this data, otherwise my business does not function. Some data you might find is, okay, it's nice to have, but if I don't have it on time, perfectly clean, etc., I can still do my job. And I think that's a hard ask because at the end of the day, we think, sort of go back to this, there's so much data out there. So at times we think, well, why do we need to worry about this data cleanliness and do this audit? Because there's always data sources. I can always pull data about anything I want, and I've got so much data that's never an issue. But the question becomes, well, what kind of data? So to me, I think that first step is to really do that data audit, right? So if I'm in healthcare and I'm supplying a hospital network, and that hospital network I know performs a lot of cancer treatments, all right, well then I need to be able to have the right data associated with that, and I need to make sure that my data sources coming from my suppliers or my transportation nodes or whatever nodes that are out there are clean. And then how am I processing the data and then sharing it moving forward? So I think that's the first thing we all have to do, right? Is to do that hard audit. And I will say this too, Henry, this is not a one and done activity. You need to constantly be monitoring this because as we know, supply chains change, business change, needs change. So as things evolve, we have to evolve with it. But that's one. I think two is then to look at the systems we have in place. Are the systems able to ingest that data? And some people might say, wait a minute, we have all this software. Of course it is. But we'd be hard pressed to find sometimes that not all software is the same version. Not all software can handle the same data. Not all software is prepared for it. So we have to do an assessment of our systems to know, does this system can it ingest the data? Does it need to tie into another data set? Does it need to look at something else? Does it take up too much server time to process some of the information? And I think the third part, and maybe this is the first part, but the third part is also, what does this mean from a personal standpoint? And what I mean by that is not personal, you or me, but from your people, right? The process, the change management. Are these people, are your people within your network, how are they viewed? Do they know the importance of data cleanliness, of this data audit? So that's the third part, I think, is to be able to educate your people, the people that are going to be using the data as a tool, as the importance of both, as you said, ingesting the data, but then also how we produce that data to then share with other people in our supply chain.